Also, remember, we are also on audio platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spreaker. We're on Podcast Addict, Podbean, a couple other ones for you guys that like audio only. If you're new to the show, one of the things that I do is I break down the occult and the New Age. I'm a born-again and baptized Christian. I was saved out of the occult and out of the New Age. So kind of like what one of the things that I do is I kind of take you through the occult and the New Age, and I expose it and I break it down facet by facet, individual facets. So listen, if you are coming out of that lifestyle, there isn't anything better than Jesus. Nothing. Okay, there's nothing better than Jesus. Period. Okay, that's the entire point of this show. However, one of the other elements that I kind of bring to the show, so as you can see behind me, you see the Marine Corps flag and you see the thin blue line flag. All right. I'm an 0311 infantry rifleman, Marine combat veteran of the United States Marine Corps, from 1st Battalion, 8th Marines. And, I did exactly what you think about whenever you think of a Marine. Took fire, returned fire, mission the Marine Corps Rifle Squad to locate, close with, and destroy the enemy by fire and maneuver, repel the enemy assault by fire and close combat. See, I almost said it without getting tongue-tied. It's been like almost 20 years, so you got to give me some grace here. I've been punched in the face a lot since then. Also, you'll also see the thin blue line flag. Thin blue line flag. God, I'm already going to get yanked down from YouTube. The thin blue line flag. All right. Yes, I have walked the path of law enforcement. Got to do some really cool stuff. And, I really sympathize for these people out here that are trying to keep law and order. I don't know. I was just always that kid that I always felt like I had to protect people. So whether it was abroad or whether it was back home, that's just always how I've been. That gives me a little bit of a unique dynamic whenever it comes to the topics that we're going to be talking about tonight. For YouTube purposes, I got to really kind of dance around it, what I say, and I really hate that. But this is also one of the things coming up on a subject that we're going to be going over tonight, that legitimately only sharing a clip of an episode that I did last year, or like almost last year, just sharing a clip of it with a rhetorical question got me nuked from outer space. YouTube completely locked me out. You know how most times if you make a silly joke or you post a stupid meme or whatever, every now and then it'll either like it won't post it, or it'll say, this post was taken down because it goes against community guidelines. whatever. Or you'll be in like a Facebook, argument with somebody, and somebody will say something stupid, and like your friend gets thrown in TikTok jail for like, or Facebook jail for like 2 weeks. Okay. Well, when I shared this clip from episode 5, Cinco, okay, episode 5, We Are Not the Same. If you haven't seen it, scroll all the way back down until you get down to number 5. We Are Not the Same. Okay. It was an episode that I did covering Islam. Okay. And I pulled no punches. Now, I wasn't slanderous or anything like that. I didn't say anything that isn't explicitly quoted in the Quran or in the Hadith. Okay. And by the way, I have both. Okay. So when I tell people, listen, I have dealt with this up close and personal. Okay. I've lost friends to this stuff. Okay. You might even call them family. Some of my friends, they were closer than family. My Marine Corps brothers. Some of them turned and went this way. Insane. I don't know how they rationalize that. But I recognized this years and years and years ago, that this was going to be a reemerging problem, that this wasn't going anywhere. And you heard whispers of people that were embedded within the United States, secret training camps where, people were actually training for the day that they ever get the wake-up call, this sleeper cell activation, right? You heard rumors and you heard whispers of stuff like this on the internet. But like 10 years ago, when I was talking about this stuff, people thought I was an absolute quack. Okay. And it's not really that I like shut up about it. It's just life went on, right? Nobody was listening. Nobody was saying nothing. Okay. But myself and other people who were part of my unit, other guys from 1-8, have been saying this stuff. We have been saying that this is going to come back around and this is going to bite us right in the butt. Okay. There's a thing, it's called suicidal empathy. Okay. I hate that how I got to dance around words here. Okay. But for YouTube purposes, sewer slidal, or however they say it, empathy. Basically, the entire point is that you want to love and pet and coddle, okay, a demographic, an ideology that's going to end up unaliving you. And because you were the one who facilitated it, you were the one who essentially you encouraged it. You encouraged it. You enabled it. Okay. You said, no, we don't need borders. Come on in. Millions and millions of. We're not going to background check anybody because that's racist. That's racist. IDs? Compelling someone to show their ID to vote? That's racist. Crazy. You need an ID for literally everything else. Somehow not racist. When it comes to voting, now it's racist. It's insane. It's insane. Okay? Now, this episode isn't so much as a political episode as it is really just an observational episode. We're going to be doing some reactions tonight. Partially because, one, it's been too long since I recorded. And two, this is too important not to. We got to go over this stuff. Okay. So, anyway, if you haven't already done so, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe, right? Make sure you hit the notification bell so that you never miss an update. And go back, okay? Go back and watch my last episode, The God of the Riot, okay? Then go back and watch episode 5, We Are Not the Same. And you're going to have to bear with me. The editing was poop, okay? It was poop. I was just starting. So you're going to kind of see the evolution. Episode 27 is nothing like episode 5, okay? But it just, hey, man, it is what it is. You're not going to start out as a pro, right? I wouldn't even say that I'm a pro now. I'm just saying I just don't suck as bad. So go back, watch the last episode, and then go back and watch episode 5, We Are Not the Same. And I break all of this down, all of the hypocrisy down. And the reason why I made episode 5 was because I was tired of this stupid false equivocation. Basically, whenever people said, oh, well, you know, Christianity and Islam, it's the same thing. Allah just means God. Allah just means God. That's all it means. It's the same thing. Plus, they talk about Jesus in both of them. Okay? Now listen, I'm not making fun of you, but if you believe that, clearly you have not read the Bible or the Quran. Okay? That's a stupid leftist talking point, and it's lazy. And it's just factually untrue. Okay? Now, we don't have all night for me to systematically go through the entire thing. Okay? Where'd you go? Oh. But I meant what I said. I meant what I said. Okay? Right here. Got it, right here. This. The Hadith. I got it, right here. That's me. Okay? Yeah, these are mine. All right? Extremely violent. Extremely violent book. And you also have to remember, unlike the Bible, there's no New Testament. It is what it is. Those are the words of Allah, supposedly by the Prophet Muhammad. Okay? No bueno. You don't believe me? Read it yourself. But anyway, just so that's what we're going to be doing tonight. Get you guys caught up on a little bit of what's going on right now. So, just kind of sidestepping this a little bit. So right after I filmed The God of the Riot and I got done with that, there were quite a bit of people that reached out to me. They said, hey, we really want you to do something on Epstein. So then I started working on a special, The God of the Island. Okay. And it wasn't any sooner than I started on Epstein that apparently we're just in World War III. It's funny because nobody's like, they're not calling it. Okay. I can't state it as a clear declaration of fact. Okay. And I'm speaking in no official capacity when I say this. But honestly, I think we've been in kind of like a cold World War III for at least like 3 or 4 years now. At least. I think we just, to avoid panic, we're just not saying it. I think that's kind of our move now. I think that's just kind of like our Pollyannaism. I think that's just kind of the way that we're going to continue in this normalcy bias where we just don't say how bad things really are. I think that's probably a key way of keeping everybody calm. Case in point, I'm just now getting better. I'm, and me and my entire family, we were like dying from flu type A since Christmas. It was awful. It was absolutely awful. Had to take my wife to the hospital, had to take my daughter to the hospital. There was at one point, like, both me and my wife thought she was going to die. And it just came out of nowhere. And everyone's like, it's, I don't know what's going on. Oh, somebody's throwing stuff.
Huh? What? I didn't do anything. Somebody's throwing stuff.
Yeah, somebody's throwing stuff. That's just how they act. Dude, I'm telling you, it was COVID too. That's not even a real thing. I just kind of made that up. Probably going to get yanked down for that too. But it was, the hospitals were completely slammed to the brim. Same thing with all the pediatric cares. Slammed, like, to the brim. People were waiting out in the hallway. Like, you couldn't even get in. And it was absolutely insane. And it was going all around work, and now it's tearing through the hospitals and stuff. It's really bad. It's just hey, we're not talking about it, because they know for sure there's no way we're going to start masking up again, and social distancing is like, and Trump's like, yeah, we ain't doing that again. We ain't doing it. So I've been working on that. Also, for this Valentine's Day, this is kind of funny. Totally separate, right? So I wanted something that, me and the wife could do together inside, and, because we got a bunch of kids and stuff. So, like, doing anything outside takes a lot of work. There's a lot of moving parts. We got to get like sitters, and it's a mess. And so, like, the whole day's got to be super planned out, and it's a pain. It's a pain in the neck. So we wanted something that we could do together inside, kind of like a hobby. And so, look, I like things that smell good. So I'm like, hey, why don't we look into candles? Making candles. It's kind of a cheap startup. It doesn't really take a whole lot. You just get some mason jars, you get the wicks, you get the little metal things that you got to tie down at the bottom. And, you get your dyes, and then you get your fragrance scents, and then you boil your wax, and then you pour it in, and then you let it cool, and then that's it. Then I found out that I really liked it. I don't know if that's a little fruity, but I will tell you that got some good, I keep wanting to call it flavors. It's not flavors. Got some good scents. I got one, the first one that I made smells like coffee. The other one smells like like dude and rainforest or whatever. Got another one that smells like marshmallows, and then I made another one tonight that smells like pineapples. It's pretty cool. I don't know. I'm just messing with it, and I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be a thing, but hey, listen, I got to pay for this stuff somehow. Not making any money on the podcast, so hey, probably going to be coming up with a website. Hey, you want to buy some of my candles? Make your house smell good. Make sure that your house doesn't smell like a dump. Then buy my candles. Right? Anyway, so that's what's going on with that. Also, physical therapy. For everyone that's been praying for me, I really sincerely appreciate it. My arm has gotten much, much better. And coming up here soon, I'm going to see if I'm good to go back to full duty. And fingers crossed, praying, just absolutely everything. Please, please, please continue to pray for me. And thank you for everyone that has been praying for me. Now, without further ado, we're going to do some reactions tonight, and then I got to go to bed. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay. So if you're not familiar, we had Fashion Week here at Paris this week. So let's see what we got going on. Chia. I thought in fashion you're supposed to try to make yourself look beautiful. Like I thought that was the entire point. See, she looks normal. She looks pretty. Who's that? I don't even know who that is. Okay. Cameras out here free. Too geek to even speak. What is that? What's with the doo-doo chocolate on your hands, dude? Okay. Dude, the French are weird. What's on his face? Dude, I'll tell you what. If this guy better never get into a fight, because the first thing I'm doing is I'm like eagle claw, you know, and I'm hooking that ear. That thing's mine. You're coming with me. Jeez Louise, dude. Look at that, man. Just some random guy with shades on. See, okay. Not really into the style. I'm, as you can tell, you know, I'm a huge like fashion vogue. I'm not really into all the dark, but this looks like something that you'd see in a fashion show, right? Okay. So you know that it's not sweet. Okay. You getting a little weirder. And of course, we can't go anywhere without looking at man-face Lady Gaga. Special. Dude, what is that thing next to her? Bro, what? Hey, dude. Alrighty. Oh, lovely. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. We got something right there. This little headdress. We got some lady with goggles on. We got some woman, I guess. All right, she looks like a lead singer of like a 90s grunge band sitting here up front. And then we got, I have no idea. That's got to be a dude. That's got to be a dude. That's a dude, right? That's just a fat guy. I'll tell you what, I am so sick of this. I don't know what happened to beauty standards. And I understand that I'm no Brad Pitt, but I can't stand it whenever I'm walking in Target. And I point this out every time. And my wife, she's like, shh, people can hear you. And I'm like, look, I don't care. Why are we endorsing fat models? Fat models. Why? Why are we doing it? Oh, that's so you can't say that. That's not inclusive. Hey, you remember when we had to do sit-ups? You remember that? You remember when not everyone was the prom queen? When there was a prom queen, right? Or homecoming queen. And she was typically the best looking one or the most popular one, was just kind of added to her looks, right? You remember that? Was this dude or lady, were they the homecoming queen or prom queen? That's just a fat electrician with a giant corsage on his shoulder, some frou-frou stuff on his back, and just white paint on his face. Jeez Louise, I can't. There's no way, dude. What is that? Bro, hold on. What? Dude, what are we looking at?
Look. An undead monkey.
That's an undead monkey. I don't even know what to say to that. Slightly uncomfortable. Okay. That's another weirdo. This is not beautiful. What is this?
Really special.
What is that?
I think I like it.
Dude, I'm sick of these people ruining the world. You can tell this person really did not want to be there. Look at that posture. Dude, what are those shoes, man?
Look at you now.
What even is this? Dude, I don't have anything funny to say. This is just gross looking. What is that? I don't even know, guys. I don't even know. Yeah, we also had some bad stuff happening today. So today we had today there were 2 terrorist attacks. One was on a Jewish preschool that was outside of Dearborn, Michigan. Guy rammed his truck into the building, and he had a gun. He was dispatched to the afterlife shortly thereafter. There was also another incident, and I believe it was Old Dominion in Virginia. And that guy, an ROTC student, stabbed him to death, and then they beat him to death. I think the stab is what did him in, and then they beat him to death. He came in to open fire. He killed the instructor. God rest his soul. Rest in peace. Killed the ROTC instructor. And then someone rushed him with a knife, stabbed him, and then they beat him to death.
Look at you now.
And, you know, everyone can... Here, I'll just play this real quick.
Temple, Israel, and they say a major scene was reported there. If you're familiar with the area, this is located on Walnut Lake Road. So a live look there thanks to our Fox 2 Detroit helicopter, as we see that there is some smoke there from a building, and that seems to be where the helicopter is concentrating this live look. It's a little hard to tell, but we do see that emergency responders are surrounding this building. According to Fox 2 Detroit, there is a threat underway at Temple, Israel there in Michigan. At Temple, Israel, and they say a major scene was.
So yeah. So this right here, I'm not going to say his name. He didn't deserve that. This was our guy. Imagine that. Imagine that. Good parenting. See that top picture up in the top left? That's nice. Yep. Yep. This right here, Lieutenant Colonel Shaw. He didn't make it. Terrorists came in, killed him. Then an ROTC student stabbed him. And they subdued him. And so he couldn't be a threat to anyone else. Lieutenant Colonel. Do you know how long it takes to make Lieutenant Colonel? Sad. Totally unnecessary. Also, completely unnecessary. Didn't need to happen. This right here is the most creative way that anyone has ever put this.
There were students that were in that room that subdued him and rendered him no longer alive. I don't know how else to say it, but they basically were able to terminate the threat.
So he was not shot.
He was not shot. There were
That's the nicest way of saying that they stabbed him and beat him to death.
You ain't special. Look at you now.
Okay. I'm not even going to show his picture. I know I have it somewhere, though. Somewhere. Sorry. Oop. But yeah, former Army National Guardsman. And I believe he went to that school as well. And killed him. Yep. He had originally gotten into some trouble for trying to claim allegiance to ISIS. That's right, ISIS. And somehow this guy was able to come back and get his hands on a weapon. I don't know how or why he was here. But that's just one of those things, dude. We find out you got ties to ISIS, you're gone, dude. See ya. Guantanamo. Bye. See you later. That's what we need to start doing. That's insane. You can't just let them walk around. Absolutely insane. Now, because of that, this lieutenant colonel is no longer here with us. Suicidal empathy. That's what this is. And nobody ever believed me. Everybody always just kind of gave them a pass and go, "Oh, well, that's just the extreme parts of that religion." No, you don't understand it. They are commanded to do this. Do you know what a fundamentalist is? Fundamentalist is somebody who actually believes the fundamentals of their faith. somebody who is actually faithful to their doctrine. That is a fundamentalist. See, if we've conflated two terms. We have conflated the term fundamentalist and extremist. Let me tell you something. When it comes to this, they are not extremists. They are fundamentalists. You know what that means? That means they believe their doctrine. This is what they are commanded to do. There's a whole host of other issues with that as well. Okay? Whole host of other issues. Look no further than child brides. That stuff was going on whenever I was over in Afghanistan the first and the second time. Okay? That stuff was going on over there. We saw it. Okay? And it's still going on today. But we're supposed to give this a pass. Look what this is doing. Look at where this is going. This is absolutely insane. This is a theology that is not compatible with the West. It's completely incompatible. Don't believe me? Sorry, let me... That looks like my 7-year-old. This is not compatible. This is incompatible with the West. Is that going to get me in trouble? I don't know. It's the truth. Been there, done that. Got the t-shirt, dude. This is the truth. This. And this. And this. And this. Okay? Well, that's obviously incompatible. This. Incompatible. It's just like that stupid bumper sticker, the one that says coexist. Here's the problem. Here's the God's honest problem. You cannot coexist with people that want to kill you. I'm not saying they're all like that. But what I am saying is that if you've been arrested, okay, if you've had affiliations to ISIS, you gotta go. You gotta go. You get arrested for terroristic charges, you gotta go. You're lucky if you don't get dispatched to the afterlife. I don't even have the clip pulled up, but just take, for example, those ding-dongs the other day whenever Zoran Mamdani was giving a speech. Or no, it was, yeah. there was an anti-Islamophobia demonstration. Okay? It was a leftist demonstration. And while they were advocating for Islam, this kid up behind the main speaker comes running up with a homemade bomb. What do you think he yells? Because the news outlets will tell you he made an exclamation.
You ain't special.
An exclamation? Yeah. I'll tell you exactly what he said. He said, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. That's what he said.
Did you hear what I said?
And these other idiots will get on and they'll say, oh, well, that's just saying God is great. Yeah, which God? Which God? It's not the God of the Bible. You think Jesus advocates for people running around throwing bombs at people? No. And I don't care what anybody says. Yes, this is a Christian nation. This is founded on Christian principles. It's that simple. You get in trouble for stuff like that? Dude, if we get any inkling that you're tied to Middle Eastern terrorist organizations, bye. See you later, dude. You're out of here. Now, here's my question. Who the hell would object to that? Well, I think we all know. I think we know it's not the right. The right wouldn't object to that at all, would they? No. It would be the other side. Sewer, slidal, empathy. That's what this is. To our own downfall and detriment. Thank God, at the preschool, no children were hurt. Thank God. And yeah, they might be Jews, but guess what? They're children. Absolutely insane. I don't want anybody, regardless of whatever your faith is, getting hurt. But if you set out to kill children, you need to be dispatched to the afterlife.
Look at you now.
You got to go. See you later, dude. Have fun explaining that to Jesus when you meet him. Because you're about to. Sorry to burst your bubble. It's not going to be Muhammad. I can tell you this. That conversation is not going to go very well. It's not about being hateful. It's about not being stupid. You mean to tell me we knew all this stuff? Yeah, we're just letting them hang out. It's just hanging out. Yeah, dude, your history. Bye-bye. Insane. I can't even... This is crazy. And you know what? For as much crap as everybody gives this guy, and granted, I'll be completely honest with you. Still, Trump makes me nervous. I'll just be honest with you. He does. I'm being totally honest with you. I watch him. I don't have blind loyalty or blind faith to anyone. As a Christian, I'm supposed to pray for my leaders. We're supposed to pray for our leaders. We're supposed to pray for Trump. And listen, where this is going in Israel and Iran, I don't know. But I'm staying watchful. I'm keeping my nose in my Bible. As we all should. But this is good.
To support this exciting renewal this morning, I'm pleased to announce that on May 17th, 2026, that we're inviting Americans from all across the country to come together on our national mall to pray, to give thanks, and we are going to do something that everyone said, like, that's tough. We're going to rededicate America as one nation under God. You know, a lot of people... Yeah, thank you very much. That's what I mean by the Spirit. It's so incredible to see it. I see it so much. I've never seen anything like it in 1 year. I thought it would take 2 years, 3 years, 4 years to be where we are. We've done it in, really 10 months. We're at 12, but now it's just getting to a level that we've never reached before as a country. But that includes religion. And maybe that's part of the reason that we're doing so well. There's such great spirit. It's all spirit, and it includes religion. I've always said, you just can't have a great country if you don't have religion. You have to believe in something. You have to believe that what we're doing, there's a reason for it. There has to be a reason for it. We're all working and we're behaving. I behave because I'm afraid not to, okay? Because I don't want to get in trouble.
Now, he jokes and stuff, but here's the thing, man, okay? You got to remember, the guy's not a theologian, okay? He's not. He's the president. And not only is he the president, he's a businessman, okay? Now, if we're being totally fair, okay, looking at it, now, do I believe that he is a Christian? Not how I would define a Christian, no. Maybe a cultural Christian, possibly. If you don't know what the difference is, a Christian, by definition, is someone who professes faith in Jesus Christ and follows his teachings, right? They see the Bible as inerrant. They see it as the Word of God, okay? And they live their life in accordance with the Word, okay? That is by definition a Christian. Now, I'm not going to get into the weeds in this huge debate about, you did this sin, you did that sin, or whatever. Look, again, this guy's not a theologian, okay? I highly doubt he's going to be able to spit back to you Reformed theology, okay? I really doubt he has a very articulate view on, I really doubt that he has a very articulate view on, Christology, pneumatology, bibliology. I really don't expect him to know this type of stuff, but I think he's smart enough to realize that he's onto something. And I think he's onto the fact that the Christian worldview is the best way to live. That's been proven across the world in many different countries over many different time frames, again and again and again and again. People benefit greatly under Christian nationalism. Nobody wants to say that word. I don't know why that's become slang. I don't know why that's become an insult. But if you are a nationalist, as in you put your country and the interests of your country first, and you are a Christian, meaning you adhere to Christian biblical principles, then thereby definitionally, you are a Christian nationalist. Somehow that has become synonymous with white supremacy, and that's stupid. When we look at the actual definitions of things, that's not at all what that means. And definitions matter. Language matters. Because if you're saying one thing and I'm saying something else, and we're screaming at each other, we're having two different conversations. We have to know what we're talking about, which is why we have to clearly define our terms when we're speaking. We can't just keep throwing out all these hashtags and buzzwords and all this other stupid stuff expecting that the other person knows that we're talking about, because we don't. We have to have clear, objective definitions.
Did you hear what I said?
Okay? Yes, I believe that that is the best government model. Hands down. No questions asked. Not even a slight hesitation. No. Now we're going to get into some of the, I wouldn't really say the evidence. I mean, I could say the evidences, but I'll just call them videos. You watch them yourself. All right? Now, you're probably going to need to read. So make sure you're paying attention to the captions. I will go ahead and I will remove myself here so you can clearly see. No. So you can clearly see me. Hold on. Where is... Hang on one second, guys. Boop. Okay. All right.
والله لو أخرجنا اليهود من فلسطين، لو أخرجناهم من فلسطين وأخرجناهم من بيت المقدس دون أن يسلموا ولو ذهبوا آخر العالم، سنلاحقهم وسندعوهم إلى الإسلام وندعو بوجه الإسلام وندعو جميع النصارى للإسلام. نعم ديننا دين الرحمة.
نعم، أنا أوصي أولا يعني الإخوة المجاهدين في سرايا القدس أن يستمروا في عملهم المقاوم.
نحن لا نحب الحياة، نحن طلقنا الدنيا بالثلاثة، نحن الذين عمروا آخرتهم. والله لو أخرجنا اليهود من فلسطين.
Okay. We getting the point there? Stand by.
Want to make some of that?
For a moment where you're asking yourself how you can reconnect to who you're growing up with.
That right there, guys. That right there is what you would call a shura. It's a meeting of tribal elders. They would do this often in Afghanistan. So, notice the gentleman with the blue tie.
Good times, noodle salad.
It's just good times and noodle salad. You know who that is? That is the current sitting mayor of New York City. A Muslim socialist. Zoran Mamdani.
Being taught that
منورين والله والله
الله أكبر. Want to make some of that?
for a moment where you're asking yourself how you can
Got one more clip for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and X-name myself. Pay attention to the captions.
The word, and with a decree of yours you will annihilate them. Ya Rahman Rahimin, you annihilated. And you destroyed the likes of Ad and Thamud and Fir'aun. These are the Fir'auns and the Ad and Thamud of today. Ya Rahman Rahimin, we ask you, Ya Allah, destroy them. Destroy them, Allah.
By the way, that is Dearborn, Michigan. Did you hear what I said?
Did you hear what I said?
Allah, take them off the service of this earth. Ya Rahman Rahimin, Ya Akram al-Akramin.
على القوم الكافرين اللهم اللهم انصر الإسلام وأعز المسلمين وأذل الشرك.
Okay. Also, just in case you didn't know, when Muslims are talking about polytheists, they're referring to Christians because we believe in the Trinity. They believe that the Trinity, God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit, that they are not three in entity, one in essence. Okay. They don't believe that. They believe that we are definitionally polytheists. So when they're saying polytheists, they're talking about us, Christians. They're talking about Christians. I'll get back to it.
والمشركين اللهم انصر عبادك الموحدين اللهم انصرهم على القوم المجرم أحصهم عددا اللهم قتلهم بددا ولا تغادر منهم.
اللهم يا ربنا إنهم يجاهدون في سبيلك اللهم إنهم يجاهدون في سبيلك اللهم انصرهم يا رب العالمين اللهم انصرهم على أعدائهم يا رب العالمين اللهم عليك باليهود اللهم عليك باليهود وأعوانهم فإنهم لا يعجزونك اللهم احصهم عددا اللهم احصهم عددا واقتلهم بددا ولا تغادر منهم أحدا يا رب العالمين. عليك بالصليبيين.
Kansas City. By the way, that's in the United States, if you didn't know that. Kansas City.
اللهم عليك بهم فإنهم لا يعجزونك عليهم يا رب العالمين اللهم نصرك الذي وعدت على القوم الكافرين.
Allahumma destroy all the enemies of Islam. Allahumma destroy all the enemies of Islam. May Allah destroy them completely and show in them, show in us the great signs of Allah in their utter destruction, annihilation, humiliation.
عليك بالأمريكان ومن والاهم اللهم احصهم عددا واقتلهم بددا ولا تغادر منهم أحدا.
اللهم اقتلهم بددا اللهم احصهم عددا واقتلهم بددا ولا تغادر منهم احدا.
Every knee will bow to Jesus Christ. Every lips will profess him as Lord. My best advice, it is best to do so willingly on this side of eternity than unwillingly on the next side of eternity. Understand that. It is appointed once for man to die, and after that comes the judgment. It is a mathematical certainty. Every single one of us will expire at some point. Old age, car wreck, cancer, okay, whatever. Every knee will bow. Every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. He is a false god. The Prophet Muhammad, deceived completely. If you are a Muslim and you are watching this, you need to repent. You need to submit to Jesus Christ. You need to come to the knowledge of the gospel. John 14:6, Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no man comes to the Father except through me, period. You can get angry all you want. I don't hate you. I love you. But I also love my other brothers and sisters and the citizens of this country. And I have a very simple stance. If you're tied to any kind of terrorist organizations, deport it immediately. I don't think that's that controversial. I think that's extremely tame. Extremely tame. There's absolutely no reason this stuff should have happened. And to be 100% clear, they do adhere to an ideology that is 100% incompatible with the West. And unless you need reminder of what we literally just went over, okay, why do I say that? Well, this, incompatible. But they have the First Amendment right to practice freedom of religion. Fine. But the second you do anything like that, you're gone. See ya. Bye. See you later, dude. I don't think that's that crazy of a position. I think anyone who would disagree with that position is insane. If you think that you should continue to allow murderous terrorists who have already gotten in trouble for their ties and affiliations to known murderous terrorist organizations, and you are for keeping them here and you are against deporting them, you are insane. Don't give me that trouble. Oh, it's just it's because they're brown. No. That's a dumb argument. Because you'll meet some of them, pale, pasty, white hair, pale, pasty, screaming red hair. It's an ideology. It's not an ethnicity. And it's completely disingenuous. It's not honest. You got to go, dude. Because the mayor of New York, man, how far we have fallen.